What's up, everyone? Welcome to Spine Day. What we're gonna do is train spine segmental motion, working on flexing and extending, trying to move through each individual segment of the spine, and then a tough core exercise at the end, gonna layer in segmental motion into our core training. Now, all the equipment you're going to need, as you can see, Danny's got a yoga block. We're also going to use a light resistance band, medium length, and then a sturdy bench or something you can sit on. Also going to need that to hold on to for that core exercise at the end. To get started, gotta start with some segmented cat-cows. As Danny's demonstrating, I'd like you to scoot yourself up to a bench, a couch, whatever you've got handy, but this is going to block us so we cannot cheat with hip flexion. Very common cheat for our spine segmental motion is scooting backwards away from our hands. Don't want that to happen. So just two global cat-cows here, nice and slow tempo. Get a breath in and out. Some tension. I want you to drag your hands towards you. Get that upper back involved. You're gonna arch your low back, trying to tilt the pelvis, slowly extending one part of your back at a time, working your way low to high, getting to that T-spine, lifting the chest, the sternum, your eyes go last, maxing out your extension. Hands reverse drag, push forward, round your low back. It's tough, can't cheat by scooting backwards, keep rounding mid-back. Working your way towards that upper back, matching Danny's tempo. High thoracic spine finds flexion and chin to chest. One more time, drag your hands towards you. Even slower, arching that low back, working through each segment of the lumbar spine, extending one at a time. Now the thoracic spine, trying to peel the chest, lifting the sternum, the collarbones, and again, those eyes go last. Tension through the hands throughout. Breath in and out. Hands forward, start rounding that low back. Try and find those abs. Pull into that flexion. Don't rush the eyes, don't rush your neck. Max out that high T-spine and slowly chin to chest. So hinge point training with the band. To work on almost pelvic tilt, really low lumbar segmental motion, I like to put the band around the knee as Danny's showing, and then around the opposite knee. So take a second, play with that, but you can hold that band with your thighs and then come to all fours. So we block the band around our thighs, and then we want to loop it really low, almost around the waistband, right above the pelvis. We're going to use this as tactile feedback to train control of PPT and APT, trying to get some posterior pelvis tuck and anterior pelvic tilt. Set that band up. I'll talk you through it. We'll get 4 reps here. You're going to take a breath in. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to try and round into the band and then arch away from it. Flexion, extension. It's going to be miniature, barely moving. Get that tension, drag your hands towards you, start to pull away from the band, extend, find anterior pelvic tilt, that's about it. Hold that, nothing else, no motion above the band. Now reverse, hands forward, get that upper back involved, round up into that band, don't go too far. Control that hinge, reversing anterior pelvic tilt, pulling away from the band, about a 3-second rep, and then posterior pelvis tuck, 3, 2, 1. Reversing now, get that upper back involved, drag the hands, pulling into extension, flexing against that band. Feel those low abs. Notice how we're not cheating. Really work for these last time, pulling away from the band, extending. Really great option to train that low back, round up. If you need to work on your control of APT and PPT, this is an option that is for you. So next thing I want to do is train one more set, this time around another common hinge point, around our TL junction. As Danny's showing, when we do hinge point training for the mid-back, we like to put the band around our hands. So band is right where the lumbar spine meets the thoracic spine. It's right on the opposite side of the rib cage. Try not to go too high towards the scapula and not too low down. Basically the same exact thing. We're trying to work on controlling a little bit of flexion and a little bit of extension against that band. It's not a lot of motion, especially in this position. Typically flexion is really hard for us. Get that upper back involved. You're dragging your hands towards you. You're gonna arch away from the band right there. 3-second rep, hold, and now hands forward, round, push that band up. Push that band up, fight for mid-back flexion, hold and reverse. 4 reps right here. Pulling into extension of that TL junction, hold, reverse, fighting into flexion. Keep those hands involved, nothing else moves. Rep 3, arching away from the band, 3, 2, 1, hold, fighting up into flexion against that band. Use the abs, use all that tension in front of the body. Last rep, arching away, control it, don't let it jump. Last rep back into flexion, 3, 2, 1. All right, our reverse crunch challenge. Here's what we've got. Yoga block going in between the thighs, if you can, just something to squeeze. We grab onto the bench or the chair, whatever it is, really squeeze it, elbows nice and tight. The setup, point those toes away, your thighs are gonna be a little bit past your hips. That's the challenge. The low back's gonna push into the floor. You're gonna round your low back, max out your reverse crunch, hold that, now search down for a 6 count, 6, 5, you're laying down one segment of your spine at a time. Pelvis hits last, thighs reset back in front. That's 1. Join us for 3. Flexing up, low back finds it, hold. Not too high, 6 count, search, mid back. Finding that lumbar spine 1 inch at a time, slowly coming down towards that floor. Pelvis hits last. Control that crunch up, don't go too high. Crunching up, hold that, searching back down. 6, 5, 4, reaching those thighs, pass those hips slowly and relax for a moment. So get 3 and breathe. Now, why is that so hard? You have to control yourself into flexion of that lumbar spine and flexion of the hips, and then you've got to control yourself back into extension. Applying our segmental training to our core training is a great way to get the benefits of our ab training. We're going to get some aesthetic benefits, but we're really also getting our spine mobility work.